What's up, hoop fans? This is Gary with Hobby Lottery. Today, no break, but we are going to talk some basketball. So when I'm ripping the cards on the weekends, I don't really get a chance to talk about it. I'm just kind of going through packs and showing you guys what's in them. And then we do the giveaway at the end. I actually want a chance to talk about players. And one specific player I want to talk about is Matisse Thybulle, aka Mathief, the Disruptor, and Spider-Man. So how good is he? Well, he's doing pretty good. I think it's safe to say that he is definitely a defensive stopper. Potential for an elite 3-and-D player, at least from my perspective, and I think a lot of other hoop fans' perspective as well. This guy, he struggled. So let's look at his stats for right now. So at the moment, he's averaging 4.7 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1.2 assists. It's not earth-shattering. But on the other hand, he is averaging 0.7, almost a block a game, and he's averaging 1.4 steals. And I'm pretty confident that's actually leading all rookies. So, and he's averaging 19.5 minutes a game. So it's not bad. I mean, considering he was taken with the 20th pick, they're getting pretty good production out of this guy. So if you're looking at it from like a collector's perspective or an investment perspective, let's talk about that too. So, you always want to collect who you like, but it's also a huge plus if the person you like happens to be good, and then of course his cards go up in value. Alright? So now with Matisse Thybulle, he did start off pretty slow in the year. A lot of people were calling him a bust. People were mad they didn't take Carson Edwards or pick up another point guard or another shooter, so to say. But this guy, I know he looked limited on the offensive end early on the season, but he's coming up. I mean, so he shoots 41% from the field, not the greatest, but he's shooting 35.2% from downtown. He's becoming a pretty solid knockdown shooter. I've seen him in games. He's a good at catch and shoot. He's a great on-ball defender. I've seen him slow down Kemba Walker, and he owned Buddy Hield one night. He ripped him twice, picked his pocket, went down, tomahawked it on the other end. I think he blocked his jump shot all in the same game too. Buddy Hield's no scrub. I mean, I think he's putting up 20 a game. I know for sure. It may be more, but he ain't put up 20 that night against Matisse Thybulle. I'll tell you that now. But I really think the guy could be pretty good. Now, some things to consider as well when it comes to him. And then also, if you're looking for an investment standpoint as well, every rookie, you want them to have opportunity. So, I mean, about a fourth of the rookies in the draft classes never even see NBA action. A lot of them will see very few NBA minutes or will bounce back and forth from the G League to their roster slot. But when the guy's actively in the rotation, that's good. And Matisse, he gets meaningful minutes. And what I mean by that, I've seen him in crunch times of games where, depending on the matchup scenario, they'll usually keep Richardson in the game. But I've seen him fill in for Tobias Harris on a few occasions. And he's locked down the other opponent. He's played some critical roles in trying to close out games for him. And that's a big deal when they trust a rookie to do that. That means they believe in him. That means if they ever trade like one of the starters, or if one of the starters gets hurt, Matisse will be the one who's going to step in and fill that role for the team, and more than likely will produce. But I feel pretty good about him, like from an investment standpoint. Now, some things to consider as well when you're thinking about doing that is injuries. Injuries slow down all great players. You've seen what happened with the great Grant Hill. I mean, numerous people, even Yao Ming didn't really have a full career. Injuries can bring down anyone. So, I mean, he did have an injury. I think he missed like 2 or 3 weeks. He hyperextended his knee. He did get like a bone bruise, I believe, in that. But I've seen him in games since that return. It wasn't many, and he still had some throwdown jams. I mean, this guy is athletic, and I think he's quite a bit of an underrated playmaker too, in my opinion. I've seen him run the break a few times. He's thrown some alleys to Ben Simmons. He's caught some alleys from Ben Simmons. He's definitely not going to take guys like off the dribble or anything like that, but he does make the smart play. Now, talking about the smart play, when it comes to Matisse Thybulle here, I mean, he is 23 years old. I think he did all 4 years in college. I think he was with Washington. So he you know, when you kind of see the developed product once they've been in the league, or excuse me, once they've been in college for 23 years, it's hard to know if they'll have much more growth or potential. But hey, Tim Duncan turned into a Hall of Famer. Plenty have done it. I mean, back in the day, they went more years than they do now. But he's smart, man. He's intelligent. He's great moving his feet. He's great lockdown on the perimeter. He gets chased down blocks. Very, very high basketball IQ. Even on offense, though, he's not gifted with Kyrie handles or Kevin Durant handles or anything like that for, you know, a guy of his stature. He's still really good at just throwing the right bounce pass, you know, looking for his teammates and just playing smart. And he moves on offense as well off the ball. I mean, he'll run around the perimeter. He'll try to get open. He's got a little Klay Thompson in him when it comes to the off-ball movement. Now, he's not nearly as elite a shooter, but at 35%, that's not bad for a rookie. And he's still got some potential there too. Now, here's one thing you want to look at too if you're ever trying to collect or invest in a player. I always, and again, this is just my opinion, but I always believe the Panini Prism base, PSA 10, and then Panini Prism Silver are the best way to evaluate like the pulse market of what a player may be valued at in terms of the collector's point of view. So I did some research on that. So this is basically listings on eBay within the last 30 days. And I didn't go into, you know, complete analytics and just, you know, look at every percent down to the dollar and the dime. But basically it's safe to say, so if you got a PSA 10 Matisse Thybulle, just the base that is, it does go in the range for about $35 to $50. So if you're looking at buying him as an investment for a base Prism, I mean, I think there are a lot of other players you can get their base grade 10 for a little less expensive, but I do think he'll continue to have a role in the 76ers organization, and that still may not be bad. Now, when it comes to just base raw, you can buy a lot of those on eBay in big lots for like, you know, $3-4 a piece, and then you can just, you know, look at the best condition ones and submit them off to grading and try and improve on your investment that way, because he does have some upside here. Now, looking at the PSA 10s when it comes to the Silver Prism here, it's going pretty good. You get a PSA 10 on him, that's going to be in a range of about 110 to about 120. So it is something worth grading, especially considering his his raw card Silver Prisms, which I don't have one on display, but I have a green. But if you have a silver one of that, and you can buy those from anywhere from about $10 to about $18 on the high end raw. So you submit it for grading. If you go to PSA, you know, you're looking at like $20-25. You're looking at $10 with SGC, and then you have the potential to make that card go up to, I believe a SGC 10 Silver Prism sold for right at $90, but then you send it to PSA for $20, it does come back at 10. You've turned a $8 to $15 investment into about a $120 investment. So Matisse Thybulle, he could definitely be scooped up pretty good. I really want to know what you guys think and what's your outlook on him. Now, I've tried to look at good comparisons. You know, if he were to just hit his most elite form, every bit of potential in him, who would I compare him to? You guys may rip me apart for it. You may agree. I think he could be very similar to an Andre Iguodala. I don't know if his playmaking will ever be as good, because Iguodala is a great ball handler. And that's kind of funny because they both started off with the Sixers too. But yeah, man, I mean, I think he might have some clutch factor. I mean, I've seen him in some closing minutes knock down some big threes, even when he started off rough. I think his confidence is coming back. I could see him making a big defensive play, locking up some guy on the other end, and just really being a defensive stopper in crucial times for the Sixers. I think he's got that heart and that dedication. He's got more heart than Ben Simmons, I'll tell you that. He may not have as much talent as him, but he's got more heart than him. Now, Embiid's got heart, he just can't really stay healthy, and Embiid used to play around a lot. I think he's taking it more serious, but I think his body just can't hold up to the grind of the NBA season. But Matisse Thybulle, I mean, overall, I think he's a great person to collect. He's a cool guy. He's cool off the court. You know, he's on TikTok a lot. You know, he has a lot of media presence. And I think his role with the Sixers will be necessary in their success. He's going to be a part of their team chemistry. So I would say if you collect Thybulle, that's cool too, man. And by the way, if you collect Thybulle, I am going to be doing a giveaway. It's not an episode of Hobby Lottery if you don't have a chance to win anything. So anyone, just comment your thoughts down below. What you think of Matisse Thybulle? I really want to know. And tell me what you think of this, you know, outside of ripping packs. Tell me what you think of this new discussion that we have here. So the commenter, whoever is picked for the drawing and wins, you get a Don Russ, Zaire Smith, an Al Horford, a Joel Embiid franchise features. You'll get a Tobias Harris base, and then you'll get a Matisse Thybulle rookie card. So if you want to start building a collection, or you just want some 76ers cards to own, or you like Thybulle, I do want to give these to you in a giveaway. Top loaders are getting expensive, so I may just have to kind of cardboard these up and send them in penny sleeves to you. But hey, they're free cards, and I just like to kind of share the wealth because they're expensive to get and they're hard to get. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for the video. But yeah, just a few cards I have in my Matisse Thybulle collection here, some in the eBay store. I had more, but I've sold them. Had a couple green prisms, never had a silver. But yeah, man, I think this guy will be pretty good. I don't think the injury is really going to hinder him that much. And I think that might be all I have. And he's great at drawing charges too. He's just an all-around great defender, smart player. But tell me what you think. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Please, let's talk about Matisse Thybulle. We're going to get more players and just talk about this down the road here. This is something new, and I love it, man. I love to talk hoops. But everyone, you just stay safe, stay blessed, and have a good one. Peace.